watching New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News at noon.
Our top stories this afternoon, the Arctic blast causing some problems as record low temperatures hit the area.
A water main break in Newark, New Jersey flooded streets and left some cars stuck in the ice.
There were also big issues for the morning commute because of ice on train tracks. The LIRR, New Jersey Transit, and Amtrak all experienced big delays. Hello again, I'm Ken Rosado.
And I'm Lori Stokes, and there were also commuting problems on the water as ferries had to make their way through thick ice.
The tugboats had to go out, breaking the ice to help all of the ferries. Eyewitness News reporter Lisa Calagrassi has that part of our coverage. Lisa?
The tugboat Little Toot has a big job to tackle, breaking up the frozen jigsaw puzzle that is the Hudson River. The heavy tug does the dirty work, clearing the way for New York ferries loaded with morning commuters.
I've never seen it like this. I mean, last year was bad, but this year is definitely a lot worse. It was slow and bumpy, not the worst I've seen, but they're great because they get us here. They get us where we need to go, and now I gotta get downtown.
It took this ferry 5 tries before it successfully made it to the dock to unload passengers. The cold affects the steering, making it difficult to maneuver.
For the experienced ferry captains who know the Hudson River like the back of their hand, they say this is some of the worst ice they've ever seen. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 9.
The ice is even worse in Lower Manhattan, where service has been suspended temporarily.
Downtown service we don't have right now, but we're taking everyone to Midtown, and then we're busing them downtown. So we're getting everybody where they need to go. We're just adjusting our schedules and the means of getting them there.
The New York Waterways will continue to use the tugboats as needed to keep the river safe for travel. At Pier 79 on the west side, Lisa Calagrassi, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Well, if it's any consolation that we're not the only ones dealing with the extreme cold, the entire Northeast and part of the South also in a deep freeze. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is on the Upper West Side with more on the Arctic blast affecting millions in the U.S.
Good afternoon. It is painful out here, the kind of cold where no matter how many layers you put on, you still feel it, and it is the same across much of the eastern half of the country.
From icicle-covered New England to the beaches of South Florida.
It's cold.
It's not just cold out. The temperatures in many places are record-breaking.
It's cold. It's bone-chilling cold.
How have you been coping with it?
Not at all. Not good at all.
Things aren't so good on the roads either. From blinding whiteout conditions in Kansas City to dangerously hidden ice patches in Atlanta.
I couldn't even tell there was anything there. I was just totally surprised.
A different kind of surprise for people in North Carolina and Tennessee, making call after call to 911.
It sounded like an explosion underneath. It's like it moved the floor.
After the frozen ground around them expanded so much, it created so-called frost quakes.
I thought it was a boulder hitting the ceiling.
And in Massachusetts, they're chipping ice chunks the size of boulders off of rooftops.
Oh, this is probably good 45 pounds right here.
On this frigid day when millions of people across 21 states are bundled up and just trying to think warm thoughts.
It's all how you dress, it's all relative. New York is worse.
And she is right. We broke a record here this morning, starting out the day at around 2 degrees. And of course, there is that winter storm still in the forecast for this weekend. Marcy Gonzalez, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Wow, we turned down to meteorologist Bill Evans.
Yeah, he has the cold after-school accurate forecast.
Yeah, you can see the ice build up here on the East River, which is very unusual. You know, you look all the way down here. This is the Socrates Sculpture Park here, and there's the ice just kind of stuck right in there. That comes over from the Hudson, right across from the Harlem River. The temperature is 13 right now, and after school, it is going to be quite cold. And if you don't want to be out in this long, you don't want to walk the dog very long, it's going to be quite cold even into tonight. And we're going to be seeing 19. The real feel is going to be 0 to -10. But we got snow on the way from this storm system. We're going to talk about that, how much snow we get tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, and then it goes to ice and rain. We'll talk about that coming up in your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Ken and Lori, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you for following a developing story. The conductor of a Metro North train has been assaulted in Connecticut. Now, the suspect fled the train at the Westport station just over an hour ago. Police caught up with him, and he has been taken into custody. The conductor is receiving medical attention, we believe, for his cuts to his hands. It's not clear, though, what led up to the assault. Passengers were transferred to a different train.
New details on a teacher and wrestling coach from New Jersey facing child pornography and drug charges this morning. A judge set bail at $275,000 for 37-year-old Justin Bazinta. He works at both a middle school and a high school in East Orange. Bazinta was arrested last Friday after investigators say he had images of child pornography on a school computer. Today, prosecutors said police found several guns and a silencer as well as marijuana plants when they searched his house. Also in New Jersey, a hair salon shut down after police say it was a front for a major drug operation. Police seized $50,000 in heroin from Twins Awesome Hair Studio in Passaic. The salon's owner, 44-year-old Martin Ellen, is being charged after a 4-month investigation led police to his business. His family claims Ellen's been harassed by Passaic officials in the past and that he is a good man.
A man from Schenectady is under arrest accused of sexually assaulting a hospital patient while she was asleep in her exam room. Now, the incident involved 2 mental health patients at Saratoga Hospital on Wednesday. Police say Maynard Saravina got into the bed of a female patient. The victim awoke when she felt Saravina touching her buttocks with his hands and attempting to pull her pajama bottoms down. The victim was not hurt. Saravia is now charged with felony sexual assault. In the Bronx, a string of gumball machine thefts caught on camera. Now, one of the suspects is in custody. Police say that Jason Beach of Scarsdale is the man in this picture. He's also linked to at least 3 other robberies in the Bronx, and they're trying to figure out whether he's taken more than 100 gumball machines throughout the borough. Police say that he poses as a repairman, and another suspect is still on the loose.
The fire caused extensive damage at a penthouse apartment on the Upper East Side owned by legendary singer Art Garfunkel. The fire started in the insulation of the 15th floor apartment at East 79th. Garfunkel was not home at the time. Firefighters were forced to stretch a hose all the way over to the apartment because the building's standpipe was frozen.
About 300 people are homeless at this hour following a windswept fire that tore through a Long Island apartment complex. At least 38 residents are being housed at Hempstead High School in Nassau County. Twice as many people spent the night there after more than 50 apartments in Hempstead Village were destroyed by the massive fire yesterday. Luckily, though, no one was killed.
It was. You know, I could have been in the hospital or in the morgue. You know, I'm blessed.
We ask everybody to heat their homes carefully. Use traditional methods of heat, and if you don't have that, to really reach out for assistance.
It's not clear if displaced residents will be able to return to their apartments, so the Red Cross is working to find some long-term accommodations. Investigators are looking into whether plumbers using blow torches to weld pipes sparked the fire.
A teenager kidnapped by a family friend. The story stole headlines nearly 2 years ago. This afternoon, new exclusive video showing how the FBI rescued her.
And some owners of dogs who were in the Westminster Dog Show claim Delta lost their dogs at JFK Airport.
The woman behind the social media campaign #OomphForKatie is recovering this morning from a double lung transplant. Nearly 17,000 people have seen our story about Katie Stark-Monty on Facebook after we received word from her husband that she was out of surgery late last night. He says that she's, quote, not out of the woods yet, but in recovery. Katie has cystic fibrosis and had her first transplant 4 years ago. She started the viral campaign while waiting for her most recent donor. The campaign got so much attention, she even got a personal visit from actress Blake Lively.
Investigators are looking into new details in the deadly road rage shooting in Las Vegas as questions remain about the motive. Was it actually even a case of road rage? 19-year-old Eric Nausch was taken into custody yesterday, 1 week after the killing. Nausch lived just 1 block away from the victim, 44-year-old Tammy Myers. Turns out that he knew the family. Myers' husband says that his wife actually helped nurture the young man, giving him food and money. And police are seeking a second suspect.
Britain's Prince Charles and wife Camilla are coming to America next month for a 4-day visit to Washington, D.C. and Kentucky. The royal couple says the visit is to mark the 150th anniversary of the end of the Civil War and the death of President Lincoln. President Obama will host them at the White House March 19th. Charles and Camilla will also visit Louisville to highlight charity and volunteer initiatives there. New films in theaters this weekend. Kevin Costner stars as a track coach who discovers an exceptional running team. And there's a sequel to The Hot Tub Time Machine. Entertainment reporter, we have, I guess, Sandy Kenyon in Hollywood with both of his reviews of both films.
Dogs. Track. The story of how a coach with no experience took an unlikely group of runners to the top seems familiar, because similar tales have been told so many times before in other movies about other sports. But what makes this one worth seeing is the quiet strength of Kevin Costner, and the fact it's based on a true story filmed in California's Central Valley, where this actually happened.
Welcome to McFarland. This is a farming town. These kids working here are invisible. They come from the fields and they go back to the fields.
Watching them gives the coach an idea to form a cross-country team.
We have kids here who seem like they can run forever.
Jim White is only here because he has failed elsewhere. As so often happens in this sort of movie, his plan doesn't work out at first, and some of his lines do sound awfully familiar.
I'm guessing running's the best thing you got.
The outcome is never in doubt, but the star makes this work along with a terrific ensemble of young actors, each of whom do justice to the real men they play.
We don't got a country club. We don't even got a Kmart.
They hadn't even seen the ocean until he brought them there. The sheer exuberance of this scene got me, and so did a run with the real guys at the very end, side by side, with the talented actors who play them.
Ready for another dip?
Craig Robinson and the gang are back for another trip through time via a unique hot tub. 5 years ago, they traveled back in time, but now they're going forward.
The future isn't what it used to be.
The first Hot Tub Time Machine was a modest hit that probably never deserved a sequel. Certainly not one in which everyone involved seems to be trying too hard to get too few laughs. I'm Sandy Kenyon, Channel 7 Eyewitness News in Hollywood.
Well, the actual Westminster Dog Show went off without a hitch, but some dog owners claim that Delta Airlines lost their dogs for several hours at Kennedy Airport. What the airline has to say about it coming up.
And a teenager's act of kindness in the snow now going viral. Protect our children. Now on ABC News exclusive, never before seen FBI surveillance footage of the rescue of kidnapped California teenager Hannah Anderson. Hannah disappeared after a house fire killed her mother and brother. The prime suspect, a trusted family friend, 40-year-old James DiMaggio. The FBI led a massive manhunt after horseback riders near Cascade, Idaho reported a possible sighting. The FBI dispatched a jet with a long-range camera. At one point, Hannah suddenly starts waving, setting the FBI into motion.
They essentially start ascending the Moorhead Ridge up and around for about 3 miles.
Stealth was the key.
Stealth was the key.
While Hannah starts running, she's suddenly joined by at least 2 FBI agents leading to freedom. As for DiMaggio, the FBI says they returned fire, killing him at the scene.
Also at noon, the owners of several dogs returning from the Westminster Dog Show to Seattle say Delta Airlines lost their prized pets at Kennedy Airport. Now, the owners of 5 dogs were already on board their flights when they realized they didn't see their pets being loaded as well. They say the flight attendants had no clue where the animals were. The owners got off the plane and waited several hours for the dogs to show up.
Once they realized they actually couldn't find our dog and had no idea where they put him, that we had to get off the plane and wait till they could find him.
They didn't know where the dogs were, period.
Well, Delta says the dogs were constantly in its care, but there wasn't enough room in the cargo hold for all of them. It eventually did put the pets and their owners on a new flight, giving them VIP service and refunding the $200 dog fees.
It's a good thing they found one.
Yes,
you know
that's frightening.
Lose any doggy, let alone a Westminster dog.
No, right. panic.
I would be beyond berserk.
Sandy?
Running through that airport.
Don't you usually get Sandy first-class tickets anyway?
Well, yeah, but that's Sandy.
She asked for them.
She demands those things. Here's what's going on. Let me take a look outside. We got bright blue skies. It is blustery. It's blue. It is cold. As we look across the park here over to 5th Avenue, the east side, it is going to be cold for the afternoon, and then some snow is on the way. Some rain is on the way. We got the whole kitchen sink coming at you as we head on into the weekend. So we're looking at 13 degrees right now. The humidity is still dry at 35%. The wind is north of 14, gusting up to 24. And the pressure has been rising. So this cold Siberian Arctic blend of air coming in, very dense, and doesn't get warmed up by the sun at all. And so we're looking at 12 at Norwalk, 10 Danbury, out across Long Island, 11, 12, 13 degrees out toward East Hampton. And we're looking at 7 here around Monticello. That's the air temperature. Well, we're looking at what's going to be snow coming in for tomorrow. Around 2 o'clock, we're showing this starting up here, 2, 3 o'clock in northern Hudson River Valley, here west of the Hudson, northern New Jersey, and down toward Trenton. And then by 4 o'clock, everybody's into this snow across the area. 5, 6 o'clock, we're looking at snow. And then we're starting to see by 8 o'clock, this starts to creep up the line here with the rain-snow line. So that's enough hours in here that you could get a few inches of snow in this cold air before it starts to warm up overnight and get some snow in here, about 1 to 3 inches, and maybe above I-287. You know, I-80 here, 684 on up, you know, up above I-84, you could get a good amount of snow in here, particularly north and west here of the Hudson River Valley. It's still snowing here at 11 o'clock tomorrow night before the rain overtakes everything. It looks like, you know, on the futurecast here, the rain never makes it up above 84. So this could see, you know, this higher elevation up here around Ulster County, Dutchess County, even over here towards Sullivan, there might be a fair amount of snow. But notice that by the time we get to lunchtime Sunday, the sun's back out. So the futurecast is showing a couple of inches of snow here in the park, 3 inches probably here off to the north, and maybe 3 to 6 here in this higher elevation here across the area. You get higher elevation, and that's where you see that there would be some higher snowfall amounts. So here comes our storm system from the west. You know, if it were farther east and coming up into this colder air, we'd get way more snow out of it. But it's way to our west, so it's going to change over to rain. Before it changes over to rain after midnight, we got about 1 to 3 inches of snow in the city and southward and north of I-287. About 6 inches of snow is possible in some spots. So we're looking at 19 this afternoon, 12 tonight, 4 in the suburbs. Tomorrow, it's a cloudy day, and the snow comes in the afternoon and goes over into ice tomorrow night. Ice. Well, okay. Well, we have sunshine on Sunday afternoon, and then it's back to bitter Sunday night, Monday, and Tuesday. Look at that low 8 Monday night. Oof, the snowman. There you go.
All right.
Have a great weekend. Be very safe traveling. Lee Goldberg is very smart, great meteorologist. He'll be here first and four.
Very good. Thank you, Bill. Well, a piece of sports history is going up for auction in New York City, and we're talking about the boxing gloves worn by Muhammad Ali and Sonny Liston in their classic fight back in 1965. Ali, who was still known as Cassius Clay at the time, won the bout with a first-round knockout that became known as the Phantom Punch. The gloves were seized by the boxing commissioner after the fight and remained in Ali's family until a few years ago.
The unique thing about these gloves, and why they're still together to this day, 50 years later, is because of the controversy and the Phantom Punch.
Well, the gloves are expected to sell for up to $1 million, probably more, when they go up for sale through Heritage Auctions tomorrow. And there's a lot more about the Phantom Punch. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Fleischer put a special story together. You can find it at 7 Online.
Wow, what history there. That's amazing. And we're coming right back, but first here's a look at what's coming up next on the Chew.
Hey, Kevin Laurie, stick around for the Chew's Oscar party with A-list dishes from ravioli to delectable cheese puffs, even a casserole you can just pop in the oven on Sunday. Plus, Clinton shares the party must-haves he'll be entertaining with this weekend, right after Eyewitness News on Channel 7.
Coming up later on Eyewitness News, and we are keeping on top of the cold weather and concerns about the bitter temperatures for the evening commute. Also, are travel agents better than travel websites when it comes to saving money? And one on Neighborhood Eats, we're going to take you to an Indian restaurant that still uses an ancient technique that many have never even seen before. Those stories and much more beginning on Eyewitness News, first at 4.
Oh, I'm hungry. I love Indian food. Oh, All right.
A random act of kindness by a teenage boy in Virginia has gone viral.
Yeah, and it's because it really made a difference in the life of an elderly man. 18-year-old Tommy Adams was riding in a car when he saw a peculiar sight. It was 78-year-old Clarence Coleman in his snow-covered driveway. He has a walker. He was trying to shovel with his walker. Tommy immediately told his mom, "Turn the car around. I'm going to do this." He says he simply thought about his own grandmother, who also uses a walker. So he shoveled.
Oh,
nice.
So nice.
Oh,
Very
good for him. Good deed.
Yep.
That'll do it for this edition of Eyewitness News. I'm Ken Rosado.
And I'm Lori Stutz. Make sure you're back here this afternoon for Eyewitness News. First at 4. In the meantime, have a great afternoon. Try to stay warm as we all get through this brutal, cold winter.